All right, and we're live. So I want to welcome everybody to our Google Hangout in regards to Amazon and making money. All right, so fulfillment by Amazon, which is a new route that a lot of young entrepreneurs are using to really use their products and use these products to leverage that extra cash, that extra stream of income. I'm Antoine Lewis, sitting up here in Canada. I'm a multilingual businessman, speak English and French. Uh, all right, so I'm a U.S. military, living in Canada at the time, and just really looking at another angle to make money. So what we're going to talk to, we'll just call him the esoteric coder. All right, that's all you need to know. His name, hey, everybody online, we know his name. His name here is just esoteric coder. That's it. Don't go any further than that. All right, esoteric. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
All right, I could barely hear. It's kind of choppy where I am. I don't know. It might be my internet connection, but yeah, my name is Jeremy. I just really got started with Amazon FBA not too long ago. Um, I've been studying up on it since like towards the end of February of this year. I've gone through about 1,000 hours of training. So I feel like I've learned a lot about it, about Amazon in general, about fulfillment by Amazon, about just this whole thing that we're going to be discussing tonight. And there's a lot to know, but I think that it's something that would be extremely profitable and extremely just overall lucrative um, once you're able to get the hang of it. So I'm excited about what we're going to be talking about tonight. So I just
Awesome.
want to say thank you for having me.
All right, man. Rob. Big Rod Lou. All right. You can hear me. David, go ahead.
I can hear you, man. I just had myself on mute, so I wasn't hearing the feedback.
All right. Maybe I should put myself on mute too. I don't know how to do it. Go ahead, Dave.
Oh, you want us to introduce ourselves?
Please do.
Okay. Yeah, my name is Rodney Lewis. I am a software consultant, a veteran, of course, 16 years in the Army, looking at different ways to make money. So I'm glad we're getting the chance to sit down and talk to my cousin about this because this is another aspect of what I was thinking about doing. So ready to go. All right, let me go back on mute.
All right, David.
I think I finally made it. Oh.
So you want to go ahead and introduce yourself while David's getting his microphone set up?
Oh, okay. So what are we just quick intros, like my name, what all are we going through? I can't hear you now.
Oh, a quick professional introduction. You know how you do.
Oh, a quick professional, like my 30-second speech.
Yeah.
Elevator pitch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm Cecilia. I am, I guess, the second oldest. Professionally, I am in lending. And so I've been in residential lending for 15 years now, helping people with credit, purchasing homes. And I guess the next stage for me will be investing. So that's who I am.
What's up? And Cecilia, do you use Amazon?
I do.
All right, that's good to know. All right, so you're right at home then. David, you get your mic set up? Can't hear you. Unmuted? I don't hear you.
We can't hear you.
No.
He just
Nope.
muted. Okay, now he unmuted. It's unmuted.
Now you unmuted. Now try. We hear your thumb tapping the microphone. All right, you gonna have to use a chat. Where's the chat at? You might have to use the chat. We don't hear you. Or here, you drop out and I'll send you another invite. See if that works. Yeah, hang up and I'll send you another one. All right, David Lewis Anderson. All right, but I don't want to.
So does it automatically mute?
No, it doesn't. You can put the mute on yourself.
Okay.
.com. Got him. All right, so I'll send him another one. We still got Esoteric. All right. We got Rodney on. We have Cecilia here. We have myself. All right, so again, the chat is going to be in regards. So now we have Dave, and I hear something in the background. We hear you now.
Can you hear me?
We hear you. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Excellent, excellent. My name is David Anderson. I'm sorry, I got the kids. Give me 1 second.
All right, Adam, go ahead. Go ahead. So Adam started the FBA roughly 6 months ago. He has some experiences that he's dealt with, and he's going to tell us about it. So Adam, I'll go ahead and I'll hand it off to you.
All right. So now, is there any particular starting point you want to go from, or just?
Hey man, start at birth. Start how you got into this whole. Maybe the first time you really thought about using Amazon as a vehicle to make money.
All right. So I guess it's been a bit of a journey in terms of what brought me to Amazon, because I've been doing a lot of different things online to try to build an additional income. You know, it spans back over, quite a few years. I started building websites, just like WordPress sites. I did a lot of ClickBank, where I would do, you would promote affiliate products through their marketplace, sending those links to Twitter, using like hashtags. I mean, so it just kind of like, there was a long chain of events that led me to this. I used to build like autoblog sites. I would have a site that would essentially pull data from RSS feeds all across the internet, and it would spin that data and basically rewrite it to make it unique content. I would rank those in Google. I learned about SEO, doing ad networks like Bing Ads and Google AdWords and 7Search, and just like a ton of different things. And, but I wanted something that was more of a, I guess, sort of like a hands-off approach, while at the same time giving me more leverage in terms of being able to build something that would become a more sustainable income source. You have, when you're working with websites, you have to deal with penalties from the search engines. So you always have to play by the rules of the search engines. And, I used to do a lot of black hat type things where, like I would, do automated backlinking. I would send like a lot of links to the website to help rank it in the search engines. But I mean, there were just a lot of different things that I would do in that process that would really just kind of, you never really felt like you were building anything that was sustainable. So, building a company or building a brand that would last for, years and years and years. I wanted something more tangible than that. So I came across Amazon. I mean, I feel like I've always known about Amazon. You see people, ordering Amazon units off the internet, and then they come in those smiley face boxes, and I would always see that, but I never really thought too deeply into who was on the other side of that transaction. So in about February of this year, I don't know what, I honestly can't even remember what made me look in that direction, but something now I'm gonna spend some time thinking about that. But there was something that kind of like drew me towards that and learning about who was on the other side of that transaction. And then I started looking up, you know, how to sell on Amazon. If can you make money with Amazon? I'm looking at Jeff Bezos, just skyrocketing past everybody on the Forbes list, and it's just, you know, I'm seeing these things, and I know that this is a company that's in, you know, it's in its prime. You know, it's sort of a, you know, no pun intended. You know, they have the Amazon Prime, but you know, Amazon really is in its prime right now. A lot of growth is happening there, and I feel like that is probably the best company to be affiliated with in some way at this time. So as I started looking more and more into this platform, I started coming across, you know, a lot of different people on YouTube. I started coming across blog posts. And I basically devoured all of the information that I could find. It was, you know, reading directly from Amazon at their source, you know, finding different blogs, different software companies that have spun off and made other companies, you know, based off of what they've been able to accomplish with Amazon. And then, of course, the YouTubers. And even on a website called Udemy, where they have a lot of tutorials that you could get for, you know, a very low price. And you could go through a full course where you're learning everything from how to source the product, how to contact manufacturers, how to negotiate with manufacturers, how to, you know, there's just so many different steps and so many different levels to this. Um, and I definitely stress the importance of being able to get into not just one course. I would get as many courses as you possibly can. And you don't have to go, because some of those courses, they can cost thousands of dollars. So what I would recommend to start with is, you know, start with the free content on YouTube. You know, on YouTube, there's a lot of YouTubers. I've come across a lot. And I would say once you find, I would say find about 3 or 4 good YouTubers that you can follow and like that you actually enjoy learning from those people, and basically stick with those people until you feel like you've gotten a solid
Who do you
grasp.
recommend?
What's that?
Who do you recommend?
Okay, so I'm gonna name drop a few people here. Okay, so the first person that I would recommend is gonna be there's a guy, I'll put his name in the chat here. Okay, can you see that? Let me grab his one second. Just gonna okay, so in the chat, here's the channel of this guy. His name is Dan. Very knowledgeable guy. Now he speaks a little fast, so you have to kind of like, you know, you gotta listen closely, but you know, I feel like he covers a lot of content on his channel. You know, he goes through all of it. So I definitely recommend this guy. He's a, you know, an excellent source to learn from. Let me see, there's quite a few. I don't want to feel like I'm leaving anybody out. This is probably like the #1 person that I found on YouTube that I could just like really absorb his content. You know, and that's definitely a like I don't feel like I could just learn from anyone. You know, and I feel like he's one of the better ones out there that I've seen. You know, there's people that do it, and there's different ways that you can do work on Amazon. So I mean, there's the private label route. That's the route that I'm taking. You could also do online arbitrage, where you basically find products that you can source online on the internet, and you can you could either purchase those products at a wholesale price and then sell them for retail, or you could find, there's different ways of doing it. Then there's retail arbitrage, where it's basically the same thing, but instead of online, you're doing it offline. So you can be at a grocery store, like a Target or a Walmart, and you sort of scan the clearance sections. You see where they have good deals on different products, and then there's an app that you can get on your phone. It's just the Amazon Seller app. And you can scan the products. You just scan the barcode with that app, and it'll tell you. So you'll see what price it sells for locally at the store that you're at, and then you'll also see the price that it sells for on Amazon. Now, there are some things that you would want to look at when you're doing that, like you want to look at the bestseller rank. You want to kind of get an understanding for how that works. There's some tools that you can use, like Keepa. There's Camel, where you can see how the bestseller rank and how the price has changed over the course of, say, like 90 days, or whatever time frame you're looking at, just so you can get an idea for how the price has changed, how many sales of that product there have been within that range, and how many how low the BSR rank is. Of course, the lower the BSR, the bestseller rank, the lower the bestseller rank number is, the more frequently that product is selling. So, there's a lot of different metrics to look at, but when you're doing that, and after you've scanned a few items, you said, what's the name of the app again? The name of the app is Amazon Seller. It's actually by Amazon. So if you go to your app store, whether you have iPhone, Android, just type in Amazon Seller.
Okay. Hey, Adam. This is Rodney. I got a real quick question. I'm about to have to drop off in a little while because I have to go back home with my mother-in-law's house now. But my question is, how do you advertise your products? Once you select them and you put them on Amazon, what are you doing to advertise it? Do you use Google? Do you use Facebook ads? Like, what type of things do you do?
Are you saying to advertise your product?
Yeah, on Amazon, because you have Amazon fulfilling the orders, but how do you, I guess, get clients in or get people to order? How do you market?
Okay, and that's definitely a valid question. That's actually the part that I'm going through right now. So the number one thing that you want to realize on Amazon is that a lot of people, when they purchase products off of Amazon, they're highly review-driven customers. So a lot of times a lot of people don't want to feel like they're the first person to buy a product. Now, whether or not they are the first person to buy the product, you'll tend to feel that way if there's no reviews for that product. So the first thing that you have to do is you really have to get some reviews for your product. And there's a bunch of different ways that you can do that, but once you have those reviews, that's when you can start up because Amazon actually has its own pay-per-click network. So if you go to Amazon.com and you type in whatever keyword you're looking for, you'll see at the top, you'll see on the side, and you'll see on the bottom where it'll say sponsored. And every time you see a sponsored product, that's a product that someone has paid Amazon to have that sponsored product show in the search field. And then when someone clicks on it, they pay for that click. So it's called pay-per-click. So what it does is it brings relevant products to the eyes of consumers looking for that product based on the keywords that they input. So when you put in that keyword and your product appears, and then someone clicks on it, now you may pay them 30 cents, 40 cents, $1 for that click. And you'll be able to set up all your pricing structures, in terms of how much you're willing to pay for the click as you're setting up that campaign. But from everything that I've heard, and I'm not at that point yet because my first product literally just got into the Amazon marketplace. So right now I'm in the process of trying to get the reviews. But once I get the reviews, that's going to be one of the very next things that I do is going to be launching my pay-per-click. And I want to launch both an automatic campaign so I can pick up keywords that I may not even know about. Then there's other keyword tools where you can see exactly what keyword someone is typing into the Amazon search field. And then you can do your bidding based off of those keywords. So you can have keywords that will rank. And there's, like I said, there's different software, different tools you can use to make that happen. There's software called WordTree. You can go to wordtree.com. There's one called Helium 10. And they can give you, so you'll put in, now with WordTree, you just get, you can grab like 10 ASINs. It's like a unique product identifier from Amazon. So you'll get the ASIN. So if you type in a keyword, like let's say you're selling, tactical flashlights. So you go to Amazon.com, you type in tactical flashlight, and then you grab 10 search results that appear on that first page. You grab the ASIN, it's going to start with like a B0 and then some other letter numbers. You're going to copy that and you'll paste it into WordTree. You'll do that 9 more times. So you'll submit 10 ASINs, and then from there, it'll pull up all of the keywords that are relevant to your search criteria. So whatever you're trying to, so then that way you know what your competitors are ranking for. You know what keywords they're using, and then you can go after those keywords. Now with Helium 10, it does it a bit differently. You can do an ASIN search. You plug in the ASIN and then you pull up the keywords. Or you could actually put in what's called a seed keyword. So you have a keyword that serves as the starting point. So we're actually, I can share my screen and I'll show you Helium 10 real quick because I am a member there. Can you see my screen?
I see it.
You can see it?
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I'm about to have to go, but that helped me out a little bit. Thank you. I'm going to come back and watch the recording, so I won't miss it too much. But yeah, I got to get ready to go right now. We got to do a couple things before get ready for the week.
Okay.
All right, brother, signing off. See you.
All right.
Now,
love everybody.
All right, love you.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. All right, so you can see my screen. You also hear me?
I see your screen, but I see David on your screen. All right, we see you now.
Okay, so you can see it right now? Are you able to see it? Wait, hold on 1 second. Can you hear me? Can you still hear me? Okay, I see a thumbs up, okay. All right, so let's go here. So we're on Helium 10 right now. I've got a bunch of different browser tabs open. All right, so I'm on Helium 10 and they've got a number of tools. This isn't even all of them, but they've got a pretty nice amount of tools here. So one thing that you can do, like this is when I was talking about the ASIN lookup, they have this one right here. It's called Cerebro. So it's different than WordTree, but what you would do is, like, let's say I go to Amazon and I think my connection's a little slow right now. All right, so let's say I want to look for tactical flashlight, for example. So I just plug in tactical flashlight. And this is important too. When you're looking at the URL, you're looking at this address bar up here. See where it says keywords. So this is actually helpful for once you do want to, you have your product on Amazon and you're ready to start ranking. It's really important that when people buy your product, that they use certain keywords to arrive at your product. Because then once they do that, then they click through to your product. Like if this is your product, for example, if someone just types in like, you know, J5 Tactical V1 Pro, so if they just plug this in, yeah, it'll probably show up in your search terms. You know, it'll show up in the search results. But if you're trying to rank for that specific keyword of tactical flashlight, putting in this exact match search term, it's not really going to do anything once someone comes and buys the product. But you can see how they show as both sponsored and they show as just regular ranking. That's what I was talking about when I was talking about the pay-per-click campaign. So you set your pay-per-click campaign, it basically just gives you more real estate on Amazon. So you have more page space that you take up. So anyway, if we go here, actually, I'm going to go back to the tactical flash.
Let me ask you this question. What's the most profitable route to go? Because I know you talked about having your own product, and you also talked about, you know, reselling products. Which is more profitable?
Wait, say that again? Your voice kind of went in and out.
I was asking, what's the most profitable way to go? Is it selling your own product, like getting a product and really marketing that product, or is it doing the resale, or, you know, buying in mass other products and reselling those?
You know, I think either one can be highly profitable. I think either one could work. I mean, it really just depends on you and what you want to do. I think in a lot of ways, reselling is going to be a lot more work just because you have to find those profit margins. But once you do, you can sort of, you know, you can scale at, you know, pretty much like an infinite rate. Like if you think about most stores that you go to, they're basically like resellers. You know, they get their products imported from somewhere else and then they sell it. And then that's why you look at your tags and it all says like made in, you know, insert place here, you know, made in Pakistan, made in China, made in Taiwan. So it's all like all of these things, and that's basically what stores do anyway. And, you know, a lot of store chains can make a lot of money. So I mean, it really just depends on what you want to do. Now, building your brand is going to be, it can be an efficient way because, you know, you can ultimately, you know, you could hold on to your brand, or you could even build your brand up to the point to where you want to sell it, you know, and you can actually sell your brand, you know, if you choose. But so I mean, really either way can work. Like I've definitely seen people that do the, you know, retail arbitrage. I've seen people do online arbitrage. I've seen people do private label, and, you know, I've seen people do each of them very successfully. So I think it's really just a matter of preference, you know, how you prefer to do it. Now, if you want to go the arbitrage route, there are additional tools that you could use. Like there's one called Tactical Arbitrage, where you basically plug in, you set your filters for whatever criteria you're looking for, and then you'll be able to scan, you know, thousands of different stores at a time, you know, for products that fit within the criteria that you set. So you can look for specific profit margins, you know, as one of the criteria. So, I mean, you could do that. Now, if you're going to do something like that, I would definitely encourage you to, you know, learn about importing your own stores to that system. So then you're searching more than what everybody else that's using tactical arbitrage are searching from. Like you don't want to search from the same places that, you know, however many thousands of other people using that same software are going to be searching from. So you want to kind of differentiate your sourcing.
All right. And when it comes to some of the issues that you ran into thus far, you want to elaborate on that a little bit as far as some of the headaches you've had in the first 6 months of your operation?
Honestly, the only headache that I've really had, because I've really enjoyed doing this. Like, I know I'm really just now getting to the point to where I feel like this is my starting point. But I really enjoy most of, you know, all the stuff that I've been doing. Like I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot about business. I've learned a lot about just, you know, marketing in general. I've learned, I mean, there's just a lot to learn. I think like what I mentioned earlier about taking courses, I think that removes a lot of the headache, because a lot of the headache that I had prior to taking the courses was, well, which product do I use? Where do I go to find a product? How do I, and then once I find the product, how do I get it created? How do I, so there's just questions like that that would give you a headache. And but going through the course, and that's why I really speak highly on taking courses, even if, like I said, you just go to Udemy, and you can take the courses there. You can, so that's something that you can do, and you just go take and those courses, you can take them for like $11, and that'll take you from a start to finish of selling on Amazon. And you could take 10 of them, so you spend, $100, and now you've taken 10 complete courses from 10 different people going about similar strategies, but doing it slightly different ways. And then you combine all of the things that you've learned and you create your own strategy. So I would encourage doing something like that, because now there are, like I said, there are people that sell courses for over $1,000, and while that may be fine if that's what you want to do, I think I would probably find more value from having taken so many different courses now. I don't feel like there's any one person that's going to be able to provide some magic bullet solution that's just going to answer all of your questions in one course. So if you take multiple courses, you'll see things that other people may not have even ever thought about. So you start to see different. Now there are some strategies, like, so let's go back to this example here. I put in the tactical flashlight. So if I click on this product and I go to the product page, and all right, so here's the ASIN. So after you see like the name, the URL, Amazon.com tactical flashlight, and then it has this PP, this next section right here, that's going to be your ASIN, and that's like the unique product identifier for Amazon.
Hey, so hey, before you start giving all the secrets away, there's a lot of code here. It's a lot of code. We're gonna
there's a lot of code here.
I mean, you're putting out the code. You are giving a lot of answers, which is awesome. But what we're going to do is just for the sake of time, we're going to go ahead and wrap up, and we're going to try the next discussion. We had that other discussion also we have to get started on. But yeah, this is what it's all about. And then, did anybody have any questions? See, Dave.
Can you guys hear me?
We hear you.
Okay, cool. So, I mean, this is very insightful information. I'm driving now, so I'm trying to be cautious about having this phone. But I guess, in terms of just the next conversation and preempting the next conversation, I would be curious to know the following. Kind of what's the startup cost, right? What is the initial investment in terms of becoming an Amazon seller? Is it do they get a percentage of what I sell, or are there fees on the front end? Kind of those would be I'm always curious about the financials around the business, because I feel like marketing, you can figure that part out, but just creating a safe risk. Financial perspective. So that would be, some things that I would look forward to hearing about in the next conversation.
For sure. David? Dave? Dave got to fix his microphone. I can't even hear you chewing. All right, so Esoteric, otherwise known as Jeremy. You put out a lot of information. We're going to do this again about this particular conversation, as well as we'll be talking about other avenues of entrepreneurship, right? So we'll talk about real estate. We'll talk about all types of routes and ways to make money on the side. But I want to thank everybody for coming online. I want to thank especially Esoteric for giving us so much code and gave us a lot of different resources we can use, and those are all being in the description once I edit the video. And I want to make sure all my callers are going to come back, not callers, all the participants will be back for the next discussion that we're going to have about the South African land redistribution, which will be a little bit more interactive. So we'll go ahead and we'll end this broadcast. After I end the broadcast, I believe we'll still all be online, so I don't think it'll drop everybody off, but it will stop the YouTube portion.